Good morning to you. As we come on the air, we begin with a look at the radar. As you can see, it is active. Another round of storms heading towards the metro in the next hour or so.
This comes just 24 hours after storms knocked out power to thousands. Right now, more than 27,000 people in the metro are impacted. According to Xcel's website, power should be back on by tonight. We can only hope so for those people without power. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, my cooler of ice right now is not going to hold for much longer, Ben, and it is very warm inside our house. No power for 24 hours.
24 hours without power. Yeah, it's, get the block ice. Don't get the cubed ice. The block ice is going to last a little bit longer. But otherwise, the grouping of thunderstorms we're watching this morning, not nearly as strong as the ones that moved through the Twin Cities late Saturday night into Sunday morning, but we are still seeing some pockets of severe weather. Now, the latest warning out of Brown County has been allowed to expire as that storm continues to fade. But notice right up the Minnesota River Valley, here comes another round moving through the Granite Falls area at the moment. It looks like parts of Grant County, Stevens County seeing some severe weather as well. So again, pockets of stronger thunderstorms out there this morning, but the overall trend will be for these storms to gradually fade in intensity throughout the morning. So our window for wet weather in the Twin Cities between about 6:30 and 9 or 10 o'clock or so. Later this afternoon, a spotty shower or storm possible, but for the most part, we should dry out, and that'll be the case the remainder of the week. Looking forward to that. Cece, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Taking a look at the big map here. Things looking good for the most part if you're headed out the door over the next 30 minutes, all green. Though I am hearing about vehicle spin out in the Inver Grove Heights area on 52. I'll find that on cameras and tell you about it if it's a big hindrance, but I'll look into that in the next few minutes. Live look here in the Richfield Bloomington area, 35W southbound. We're seeing lanes are going to go down to one lane in that area. Some construction there in just a few hours. We can already see the barrels out there, so I'll be making a graphic and telling you more details when I see you next. Jason.
All right, Cece, thank you very much. We'll see you in a few minutes. Turning out to our top story, we have a live picture coming in right now from Milwaukee. The Republican National Convention begins there in a matter of hours, and all eyes will be on the party's presumptive nominee, former President Donald Trump. The former president is waking up at the Pfister Hotel in Milwaukee this morning, less than 48 hours after an assassination attempt on his life.
Yeah, as of right now, the Secret Service says there's not going to be changes to the convention's security plan, and there are no known threats at this time. So let's get right to Michelle Beck, who's tracking this developing story from the newsroom. Good morning, Michelle.
Good morning to you, Jason, Alicia. As you mentioned, former President Trump is in Milwaukee this morning. The shocking attempt at his life is not changing his plans. At any moment, he could be announcing his running mate. With the first official session starting in about 8 hours, this convention could be the first time we hear from Trump about the attempt at his life. Here's what he's written so far on Truth Social, quote, "I cannot allow a shooter or potential assassin to force change to scheduling or anything else." In another post writing, quote, "It is more important than ever that we stand united." President Biden also calling on unity last night in a rare Oval Office address.
You know, the political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that. Yes, we have deeply felt strong disagreements. The stakes in this election are enormously high.
And all this comes as calls for investigation grow into how Trump's attempted assassin was missed by security. We'll hear from witnesses coming up in 30 minutes.
Michelle, we'll check back soon. Thank you. Now, one of those voices joining the calls for a thorough investigation into what went wrong is Senator Amy Klobuchar.
This is an assault on our democracy, and political violence has no place in our democracy, no home in our democracy. And out of this, I think a few things. One, as citizens, it's our job to bring down the rhetoric, to understand that what unites our country is so much bigger than what divides us.
Minnesota Republicans who are in Milwaukee right now for the RNC are also weighing in. Kip Christensen from Monticello is one of 74 delegates, and he says it sparked resolve and unity among the Republican Party.
This man just doesn't stop. He doesn't quit. We are incredibly grateful and fired up, and this is the safest place to be in the country right now, surrounded by a ton of law enforcement of state, federal, local.
And this morning, we're learning more about the victims from Saturday's shooting. Pennsylvania State Police identified the man who died as 50-year-old Corey Comparator. According to Pennsylvania's governor, he was killed diving to protect his wife and 2 daughters. 2 other men, a 57-year-old and a 74-year-old, were also shot. The hospital says they are both stable. As for the gunman this morning, the FBI is trying to figure out his motive. We know he was 20 years old and he appears to have acted alone. The FBI says he used a semi-automatic rifle registered to his father. He opened fire from a rooftop just over 150 yards from where the former president was speaking. The Secret Service says that rooftop was outside of the secure perimeter they had set up and that local police were responsible for securing it. Coming up in 30 minutes, we're answering more of your questions around the assassination attempt of the former president. And right after sunrise, the Today Show will have full team coverage on the shooting and the Republican National Convention.
All right, 6:06 is your time here on this Monday morning. We need to catch you up on some breaking news out of Northeast Minneapolis. In the last 6 hours, we confirmed police are investigating an apparent shooting. This was the scene late last night just off of Lowry Avenue. Police say they recovered a handgun and multiple shell casings. No word yet on any victims or a motive. We've reached out to police in the last 60 minutes for more details.
Northwest of the Twin Cities, Sherburne County officials confirmed the body of an Elk River man has been found in the Mississippi River. In an update, they said Wright County Water Patrol recovered Cody Pope's body near the Oliver Kelly farm yesterday morning. Officials say Pope and his two children had been swimming on a sandbar in the water Friday morning at River's Edge Commons in Elk River. They say he was able to get the two kids to shore, but then went underwater.